Hello friends, welcome back to the new tutorial. Today we are going to learn CRUD REST API using TypeORM, TypeScript and the PostgreSQL. Those who haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe my channel, and if you like the video, please do like, share and comment on my video. Let's get started. So first of all, we are going to create the directory. Okay, so let's open the terminal in which folder you want to create the directory. Okay, so here I'm going to create the directory first, right? First step, now you have to go to that directory with the cd command, cd and the directory name, enter. After this, we have to initialize the packet.json with npm init. Okay, so it will initialize with the basic settings of the npm packet.json file. Okay, let's open the code base with the help of the code, and it will open my code base, okay, with CRUD API, and we have the packet.json right now. Okay, now we have to install the necessary dependencies, so let's install this. Okay, we need express, typeorm, pg, class validator, reflect metadata. So these all packages we have to install, so install it. And I am using the Node.js 20, so make sure you are also doing the same one. Okay, this is installed. Moving to the next one, we have to install the TypeScript types also, Node Express and TS Node Dev. Okay, so please install all this. Okay, installed. Next one, we have a structure, so we have to go with the source. First of all, create the source directory first. Go to the folder, and here first of all we have to create the source directory. In the source directory we have to follow the structure in the controllers. This is the clean architecture that I'm following. Okay, so the source, in the source we have to create a folder controllers. Okay, and also we have to make the user controllers. If you have the functionality of the user controller, post controller, profile controller, any controller which have the functionality, so you have to put that into the controllers. Okay, so here I'm going to create a new file, user controller.ts. Okay, moving to the next, we have entities for creating that table would be created into a database, right? So here we have to create that one. So here we go with the source. Okay, in the source I'm going to create a new folder which name is entities. Okay, so the controllers and the entities. In the entities I have a user entity. Okay, so let's create that one, user entity. Okay, moving to the next, we have a data transfer object, so let's create that one, that shape your object. Okay, so let's create that one, new folder, DTO, how your data look like, new file, user DTO. Okay, now we have to create the services, so let's create the services in the source. Okay, services, here we have a user service.ts, so let's use this one. Okay, so this is structure. Then we have the routes, so we have to create the routes also, on which, like the API, whether it's to be a add user, create user, put, get, delete, all these are the routes. Okay, so let's create the routes folder, and here we have the routes, we have a user routes. Okay, so let's create that one. Okay, and after this we have a app.ts, that is a main entry point of the your project. Okay, so let's create it. Then we have a config for the database configuration, so make sure you have to create that folder also. Okay, and here we have a database.ts. Okay, so let's create that one, conf, new file, database.ts. Then we have a tsconfig.json file for the TypeScript, so you have to add this file also. I think it should be in the root file. Okay, so in the here I'm going to create that one, tsconfig. So I'm putting this data from my previous project, that is Node.js. Yes, we will take it from the my node project. We have this tsconfig.json file, so I'm pasting from here to this. Okay, replace it, and here the data will come. Okay, so here I'm using which directory, and these all are very important part. So you know the TypeScript, So you will get to know about this information also. Okay, TS configurations, right? So make sure these all the configurations you have. Okay, moving to the next one, packet.json already inbuilt. Now we have to create the source config database.ts file to configure the PostgreSQL connection. So make sure you have this. Okay, so use this one, add the configuration file. So here we have the config in the source, we have a config database. Let's add this. There is something error in the entities. Let's fix this one. So we have this, we have entities, we have user entity, right? So it is fixed now. Is not a module. Entities user.ts. Okay, actually I haven't created right now, so that's the reason. So let's go to the entities and paste it step by step. So this is first step. Okay, now we have to paste the code for the entities. We have this entity part of the user. So let's paste this. Now the database error goes, right? So here we have to configure our database credentials. So the username is I think let's copy from my previous project. I have the details. We have this username, password, and the REST API. Okay, so I'm going to get it from here. Okay, fine. Entities I'm using user one. Okay, save this. And if you have the multiple, you can also use the another method for calling all the entities in that folder. Okay, so here we go with the next step. Here you have using the entity, and if you have migrations, then this is how you can add the migrations also. I have already uploaded the tutorial on the TypeORM TypeScript, so you will get and watch it. You will get the idea of that one. Okay, so this is our configuration file. This is completed, right? And we have the entities. This is user, which will create the table for the user, and which have the ID, name, and the email and the password columns, and both these are the string and this is the number. Okay, moving to the next step. Okay, so here we have, now in the source dto.ts define the simple user dto to handle the validation. Data transfer object is a standard use in a project application where specific data shape is required. Okay, so here we have to go with this one. So this is our basic class validator, that is user dto. So let's add it. Otherwise, if you don't want, then you can skip it up. Okay, I think the code is this one. I need to go with this. Okay, I think still something went wrong. Let's copy paste this. Now it's correct because string is not missing there. Okay, so how to validate? Name should be string, email should be string, and the password should be string. Okay, so this is the validation class validator we have used. Okay, now we have to create the services to handle the business logic. Okay, so these all are the business logic. Okay, for getting the data from the repository and the data is added or not, so all this from there. Okay, so this we go with the services part, and here we have the user service.ts file. Okay, and here something is not working. Is that what result.affected is possibly null or undefined? So in this case, let's return the result or just drop the message over there. Result effect is possibly a null value. Let's return true, or you can wrap it up. If it deleted, then we can put the logic accordingly in what the result it will come. We will check it out. Okay, so how we can handle this one? So the error goes right. So this is our user dto. Right now we have the another one, the controller part. So we have a controller to create the controller to handle the http request. Very important. Okay, so we have all these controllers. Okay, then after that we have a routes. Okay, so let's go to the controller section. Let's paste this controller part. Okay, I think it will go with another error. Put the type of it, like whether it's to be a any or what. Okay, anything else we have a issue, that is again error is which object, because we have to pass define the, what else we have to define the type. Okay, and where we have this, now controller is error free now. Next step, go to the route section. So we have the routes, so these are all the routes we have. Okay, so let's add this user routes. Okay, let's paste this, and they have some issues with this. By what? Overload issue. Let's try to fix it up. Why is coming over there? Okay, now we have to go with the app.ts file. Okay, so here we have the app.ts file, which is the main file. Okay, so let's go to our app.ts. Okay, now the main issue is overload function. So this is another method that we can use it over here for, because there is a id parameter, right? So in that case somewhere it gives the issue. Okay, so let's fix this issue. How we can fix that one? Just give me a 1 minute. Now you can see that everything we have added. Now we have to run the project. Okay, so here we have the ts node dev source app.ts. You can run like this, or you can configure the packet.json like this. I will show you how you can configure the packet.json file. So here we have the project. So here you can just run this start and the dev. Okay, so the script section you can add like this. Okay, so go to our packet.json file, right? So here we have a packet.json file. Make sure you have to add the scripts like this. Okay, so you have added. Now we have the in not index.ts, we have app.ts, right? Okay, app.ts, or here also we can make it app.js. Okay, app.ts file we have added, and here also we need to go with app.ts file. Now we have to save this. We have to go with npm run dev. Okay, so let's start the project with npm run dev. Now here you can see it's running and the database is connecting and the table is created. User table, create a table user with this. That means everything is okay and database connected. Now we have to go with our database. Let's check the pgadmin, what exactly it is. Okay, so let's open the pgadmin. Okay, we have the users and we have a columns like id, name, email and password. Okay, so we have added id, email and the password. I think these are the fields we have in the user entities. Let's have a look. Because the database, I have the old one, so make sure all the things are there. id, name, email and the password is there. Okay, okay, now we have to go with the postman and check the api section. Okay, then we will go with the step-by-step code through. So here we have the points. So here you can see we have a api users to create the user, which port it is running. Server is okay, so let's go with http port 3000 slash, go with api users. Okay, so here we have the api users, make a post request and we have to put the body request over there. So we require the name, email and the password, so make sure you have to go like this. Name, let's put Rajnikant, email rajnikant@gmail.com, and here we trigger out the password. Okay, and here we have the password. Let's add the password like this. Okay, so this is API user post request, and if I go first go to the routes. Okay, so here we have get all the information like this. We have the user routes. So here we have the routes post request for creating. Okay, so go to the create section. We have a create user service dot create request body. Whatever request body we have, we come up like this, and we are using user service. So here we have the user service. Okay, and first it's validating with the user DTO, and the user DTO says name should be string, email should be string, and the password should be string. Okay, then it's bypass, then it create and save the user into the database. Okay, and where we have called all this in the app.ts file. So here you can see that we have the express initialization, then source app data source initialization, that database connected. If not, then go to the catch block, and here we have the route information for the user routes. Okay, so let's press hit, and it's added. Let's go to the pg admin and check users over here. View data is all rows, then you can see that I have the record of that one. If I go with a get request with this, and you will get all the users list over there. Okay, so this is get request, and in the get request here what we are getting. So go to the routes first, we have a get request, then we have a list, and here we have the list. Okay, and here we have a user service get all, and in the user service here you can see that we have a get all promise user as an array. Okay, and how we get all this user repository find to get all the records. Okay, done. Now we have the get by id, means find one by id. We are going to go with that one. So let's go back and check. Go to the routes first. Okay, user routes, then we have a get by id. So this is get by id show, get by the user specific id. Let's create one more record for that one. Okay, so let's go to the postman and make a post request and make it Rajnikant to gmail to be 2, and save this. Okay, added. I'm going to get by the id with 1, and what would the API endpoint. So here we have a get with id. Okay, so here you can see that insert user, and the here you can see that it's committed, right? The query is commit, that is inserted. If I go and check, just refresh this, and the Rajnikant one is also added. Okay, let's get by id. So get by id with show method, and here you can see get by id parse in request dot params dot id. If it is not, then return that user not found, else the user is there, and return that one. Then we have a get by id in our user service, and here we have find one by id. So let's pass the id and make a get request, and users one. Here we have make it user 2 because second record I have also, that Rajnikant 1. Make it 3 because the user doesn't exist. The error should come message that user not found. Okay, next one. This is done. Now we go with the routes again. Now we have a put, like update the user details. Okay, so we require id where want to update, and the request body which want to update. If it is not find the id, then it will says that the user not found, else it will return, and in the catch block that there is something went wrong. Okay, and the user service we have a update. Okay, so here we have the update get by id first, and if user is not there, then return null. And then we have to object dot assign the user dto. We have the user dto which validates the data, then save that user repository. Let's go and check. Okay, so here we have to go with our postman request, get a put request over there, and make a record second I want to update with Rajnikant 2222 this one, and send this. There is something went wrong, that not found, I think. Let's go to the user routes, what the route is. Okay, so here we go with the user routes, and this is put request, nothing else. API users, nothing. Users okay, and port request, and this is updated. Okay, let's see, but we haven't passed the ID right now. Let's see, the put request is update. We require the ID, so we have to pass the ID, I think. So on the first record, cannot put with the users one. Okay, okay, might be I need to pass it over here. So let's go with this one. ID would be 2. Okay, let's send this. It is updated. Okay, so here we need to send it because security reasons you are not passing with the query parameters, otherwise you need to decode it, because if you are using in a front end, then you need to use a decode, so it is also better. Okay, so in the second record it is updated, right? So here we have the record, let's run it, and the second record is updated. First record is also updated. Why? Because we have the different route parameters. We have to fix that one, because if the id is not there, then we have to use something else. Okay, then here I need to update it like a and send. Okay, let's run. Now updated. Okay, so might be there is a cache over there. Okay, so this is the update part. So here you can update the record with the request body you have to send, and if the route is not valid, you have to send the 404 also, that the route is not valid point. Okay, the last one, that is a delete request. Okay, so in the user dot serve routes, we have the last one, that is delete, by delete a user. Okay, so here we require the request body only and the user deleted. Here you can see that the last one, that is delete part. Okay, so let's delete the record. So let's put the delete, and we have to pass the id only. Okay, let's id2 to be deleted, let's delete it. Okay, and if I pass the id3, what will happen? Because the id doesn't, id2 doesn't exist now, user doesn't form. Okay, so the user2 is also deleted. Here you can see, run. Fine. So here you can see that you have C, and one more thing, that the user DTO. Let's explain you. Like if I go with the create, okay, let's post the request and control Z this. Okay, and remove the ID. Now I'm going to make it like this. I'm going to pass the integer over here, 1. What will happen? It go with that one because it accept as a string. Okay, name should be string, email, and if, yeah, because validation is not, because this is the shaping the object only, not the validating the things. Okay, so for this one you have to use the yup also, and on any other class validator, like validation part, you can use. This is not that one, I was just thinking on it. Okay, so this is how you are able to prepare a full-fledged clean architecture CRUD REST API using the TypeORM, PostgreSQL, and the Node.js. Any doubt, any query in that, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day, and don't forget to like, share, and comment on my video. Have a nice day.